We're talking running backs, and today I'm going to give you my top 10 running backs in the 2023 NFL Draft. But stick with me until the end because I'm going to give you some of the guys who just missed the list. But what's crack-a-lackin'? It's your boy Broshmo. Just in case you did not know so, go ahead, become a bro and subscribe. Leave this video a thumbs up if you enjoy the content as always. Let me know what you think in the comment section below where we had that nice, a beautiful, a football discourse. Let's go ahead and get into this sucker with number 10, Jaquavius Marks out of Mississippi State, coming in at 5'10", 210 pounds, having a solid season. 500 yards rushing, 138 receiving, 5 total touchdowns. So pretty solid for a Mississippi State team that's not doing all that well. Will Rogers is hurt and whatnot, but I was a pretty solid fan of his last couple of, well, I guess last year, and now he gets to be in a more pro style-esque offense this year, at least compared to Mike Leach, RIP baby, his system from last season, the air raid. And I think he's looked good. I think he's done well. I mean, sure, the last like his first 2 games are much more fun than what he's really done recently, but he's shown some success this season, and really why he's so high on my list right now is what he has done in the passing game. Really, like this cat, solid athlete. I love the burst. I love the contact balance. Plays with a nice low pad level, quick feet, quick cuts, but such soft hands as a receiver. Like he might be one of the best, I would say, pass catchers in this running back class. I mean, going back to last couple of years, like this guy has over 1,100 receiving yards over the course of his career. It's something that he has done well and might be one of the better guys at that. Like, he's just very dangerous out in space. He's a guy that's lined up on the outside in the slot that got moved a lot during the last couple of seasons under Mike Leach, and then this season again playing more of a, hey, we're gonna have holes, go hit them. But I like Marks, man. I like him. Some of the gripes that I might have about him, the yards after contact. Let's go with that one. So over his career, or at least coming into this season, it was 2.47 average yards of yards after contact. Not a great number. You want that at least above like 3.3, 3.5. The really good guys will be in the 4s. This year it's up to 3.29, so it's now a average number. That's great. I think he probably needs to add a little bit more strength to his frame. And there are times I would say he spends too much time trying to make the defender miss, that it kind of just allows the defense to swarm on him. And I mean, this year they kind of swarm a little easier, as you can see when he's gone against. And it's kind of wild. You go look at his statistics, and it's like they were using him heavily the first 2 games, right? He had 19 carries, 24 carries. And even there, 4 receptions in both of those games. That was Arizona and Southeastern Louisiana. And then LSU, only 8 carries. Okay. South Carolina, 12 carries. Did get 5 receptions that game, though. Alabama, 10 carries. Like, when they're finding themselves behind in games, man, they just don't lean on him like they should. So it's like, and just last game, they started going back to him more against Arkansas. But like, all in all, I could complain about his usage recently, but I've been impressed. And I think what is kind of the nice bow on top is how good of a pass blocker he has been this season. That's kind of what separates him from some of the guys that I have behind him. And we'll talk about some of those guys at the end of the video. But the NFL loves a good pass blocker, and he is a very good pass blocker this season. On to number 9, I have a Travion Henderson out of Ohio State, coming in at 5'10", 212 pounds. And this cat just hasn't played since the Notre Dame game. Been out with an injury. I don't remember specifically what it was. But through the first 4 games, which to be fair, Notre Dame probably the biggest. Okay, I say probably, yeah, that's their biggest test they had, and he actually had one hell of a game. 104 yards on 14 carries, had a tutty, 4 missed tackles. That's fine. 4 missed tackle numbers aren't that high this year. It feels like they haven't been that high since his freshman season. But let's kind of get into the background real quick of him. 4 or 5-star recruit from the 2021 class. He was the #1 running back in his recruiting class. Finished his high school career with over 4,000 yards and 50 touchdowns. He was Virginia's Gatorade Player of the Year in 2019, where he ran for over 2,400 yards and 45 touchdowns. So kind of wild. Also ran track and became a starter almost immediately as a freshman. He had 11 starts, second team All Big Ten. And then last year, it's kind of the year a lot of people focus on, at least in terms of like, okay, he was hurt. Last year wasn't a good measuring stick. You know, so like played in 8 games, but missed 5 games with a broken bone and torn ligaments in his foot. He suffered in the Toledo game that was in week 3, and he tried to play with it. Ultimately, just got shut down eventually. This year, haven't looked at what the injury was specifically with him yet. I'm sure I could Google it. I could probably Google it right now. Trivia. Go with injury. It's missed last 3 games with injury. Can you tell me specifically? It's an unidentified injury. Okay. Fun fact. Unidentified injury. So I couldn't tell you what it was. But why he's still high on this list, despite last couple of years being banged up. Because what you've seen from him, like he's got kind of an ideal build here, good muscle on his frame, looks shot out of a cannon when he plants his foot and just goes like legit daylight runner with breakaway speed. And we've seen bits of that this year, opposed to last year when he was hurt. We've seen bits of that return. We're like, oh, cool, great. Because you just remember this guy with like quick feet, serious shake to him, like. I always described his running style like he's Captain Jack Sparrow, you know, because he's always got the ball and then one hand out. It just looks like how Jack Sparrow runs sometimes, just in fast motion, like on fast forward. But you also like that this cat has soft hands, good vision, will cut on a dime and just kind of explode upfield. And it just sucks, man. You want to see this cat healthy. You really do. Now, I will say, not the most creative runner. He has to see it. Once he sees it, he goes. He's not going to turn something out of nothing. That's just not him. I don't think that's something he'll ever be. He's a guy that wants to make you miss. Doesn't really like lowering the shoulder. That's, again, just not him. I don't think that's someone who he will ever be. Does have a bit of a thin lower body, so he doesn't necessarily eat contact well below the waist. But yeah, he's dropped a little bit for me, but I'm going to wait for him to return before I really just drop him down altogether, because you know that the talent is there when it comes to him. Listen, I know you love the NFL draft as much as I do, and you're going to want a nice hefty watch list of players during this college football season. Well, go ahead, check out my draft guide. You can purchase it for only $30 by Venmoing or PayPaling me. Links in the description. It's a one-time payment, and you get it for this whole draft cycle and forever and always. Technically, it's a Google spreadsheet, so send me your email when you send the payment. I'll get you hooked up. You will see my current prospect rankings and big board, my full evals, and guess what? It updates throughout the whole draft cycle. So it's a great purchase, and it's a great way to support the channel. Hey, I got Marshawn Lloyd out of USC coming in at 5'9", 210 pounds. Former 4-star recruit from the 2020 class. He ran track and field in high school, and he has a heart for community service. Has been involved in several projects, many of which are homes in his home state of Delaware. Locally, he has participated in a shop with Jock's program, where he goes Christmas shopping with kids from what is this? Epworth Children's Home. Okay, so that's cool. He's been involved with a panel of discussion regarding student athletes, injuries, relying on his own experience, sustaining a season-ended injury, which we'll talk about fairly quickly here, and the mental and physical toll it takes to rehab and return to the playing field. So, like, this is just a really good guy. So that's already a big thumbs up for me, man. You always want to root for these guys that are just like, I don't know, great. Like, just good guys. So he started his career at South Carolina, and that's where he tore his ACL on the second day of fall camp, causing him to redshirt his freshman season. Then he mainly played as a reserve in 2021, and then in 2022 he started his first 8 games, but suffered a quad contusion and missed the next 3. He played in the regular season finale, but decided to transfer after that. And thus far, he has been fabulous at USC. Really has, going for over 640 yards. He has 85 yards receiving, 6 touchdowns on the season, and he's really showed you what makes him special. So he's got this low center of gravity, right? And he just consistently uses his leverage well. He absorbs contact really well. He's got 35 forced missed tackles on the season. Again, that's only on 81 carries. That's kind of a ludicrous number. His yards after contact are well above 4. We're talking 4.43. Plays with good speed, good explosiveness, nice little shimmy, quick feet. Can literally make you miss, even in tight quarters. I just love his jump cut. He displays good vision, good patience, and once he sees it, he gets upfield in a hurry. Now, he's never really been asked to carry the full workload, but this season, I think he's done a good job of that. Like we've seen in the Arizona State, Colorado, Arizona game, he's gotten 20 plus touches. But then you like Notre Dame, they went away from him. Utah played, so maybe there was an injury there. So that'd be interesting to look up. But yeah, man, like I don't know if I don't think he'll probably be a workload guy, but it's just what he brings as like, oh, you get this guy out in space, that's scary. Even if you keep like having him in tight quarters, someone that could maneuver that. I would say though, if he wants to stay on the field on passing downs, he needs to clean up the drops. Thus far this season, he has 1 drop on 11 targets, but you look at his career, 6 drops on 43 targets isn't a great number. He has struggled with ball security issues. Hadn't had a fumble though until the Utah game, but coming into this season, he had 5 fumbles between the 2 years he played there at South Carolina, not including the redshirt year, obviously, but the two years that followed. Also, in terms of pass protection, because if he doesn't have the most natural like ball skills, then it's like maybe you're good at pass protection. He's not. So is he someone that can stay on the field? Like he should. Like the hands have been better this year, so keeping him on the field as a pass catcher go a long way. But if you can't pass protect, I mean, you're gonna end up losing snaps. We saw that with James Cook, right? Earlier this season with Buffalo, where Latavius Murray would stay on the field. They would essentially split snaps because he was the better pass protector. But let's keep this sucker moving with Bucky freaking Irvin out of Oregon. Big fan of Bucky, coming in 5'10", 195. Was a 4-star recruit from the 2021 class. Didn't play his senior year because of the Rona, and he also played basketball in high school. Though initially was at Minnesota, he was a rotation player. His freshman season, where he had 132 carries. He was also the kick returner. Decided to transfer and went to Oregon. He was like, let me try to look for somewhere that might win. So he goes to Oregon, following not really following anyone, but I mean they just got Dan Lannon, so he's kind of felt on the up and up. Bo Nix was heading there, so I was like, all right, let's do this thing. Played in all 13 games, had 12 starts, looked good. This season, It's even better, man. It truly is like almost all of his numbers are up. Like in terms of receiving total, he's already approaching his receiving yards from last season. He's only 4 receptions away from meeting his total from last season, and 93 yards away from eclipsing his yards in the passing game. He's well on his way to eclipse what he did rushing. And I mean, he's already got more touchdowns. The yards after contact number is up, which that's not saying much. Last year it was 4.36. This year that's even higher. So you love that. Now I get it, man. He kind of lacks bulk. There will be concerns if his frame can handle full workload, especially considering he kind of split last season. But this year he's kind of been like when they've needed him and laid the load on him, he's been like, all right, cool. I can handle it. I can do it just fine. It's okay. Like you go back to that Washington game where he did a very good job of that. There were inconsistencies as a pass catcher because the drop rate, and the drops are still there. You know, he had 2 this year, 4 last year. So like still there, a little bit better though, but it's not like he's running extraordinary routes. He runs the running back route tree. But what makes this guy so electric is just his feet, how explosive he is once he touches the ball. He gives defenders difficult angles to attack him at, and like he's got may look like a slender frame, but like just because of the lower center of gravity, though at 5'10", it's not extremely low center of gravity compared to some of the other guys in this class, but he's got like a thick base. Like he's jacked to the T, and he actually eats contact really well. He drives through contact, keeps the legs churning through contact, which again, I say this all the time. I love, regardless of position, I love guys that keep their feet moving through contact. Like he's kind of the ideal scat back with return ability, route ability as a pass catcher, and playing out in space. Like the dude's just been very good this season. He's coming in here at running back 7 for me, and I feel like that's probably where I had him prior. I'd have to go back and look at my video, but big fan. All right, let's keep this sucker moving with number 6, Devin Neal out of Kansas. I gotta go back watch his teammates because I think his teammates eligible for this season as well. But this guy's having a really good year, coming in at 5'11", 210 pounds, or 4-star recruit. Out of the 2021 class, he chose Kansas to play both football and baseball. So, fun there. And we'll kind of talk about that real quick. So he had 8 starts his freshman season at Kansas. In the spring, he made 7 starts for Kansas' baseball team. There we go. I was like, what do you mean he made starts in the spring? They didn't have a Rona season where they had to move the season back. Oh, that's why. So he actually made 7 starts on Kansas' baseball team. But for the 2022 year, he played in every game and made 12 starts. Like this guy has been an impact player for Kansas the last couple of seasons. And then he quit baseball. I was like, I think I'm going to focus on football. I think I'm kind of good at it. I think I'm kind of cracked. And you would be correct, sir. Because 90 carries, over 650 yards, 17 receptions, 184 yards with 7 total tutties. He's having a good year. He's kind of having a good year. Now, this dude's so explosive. Once he gets moving in a hurry. Once he sees daylight, once he sees the lane, he's like, all right, I'm gone. He knows how to get skinny between the tackles and was consistently hitting the second level. And he's been doing that again this season. I really like the foot speed. He goes from slow to fast real quick, little or no time, deploys a nasty false step in close quarters. And in the open field, that just kind of leaves defenders eating dirt. You love to see that. Keeps his feet moving through contact, which I already love. You're not going to bring this guy down necessarily with arm tackles. And I mean, honestly, if you can't get a clean hit on him, then you're really not going to be slowing him down. They're like, this guy might be off to the races. All right, what else we got here? All right, some of the negatives, right? In terms of pass catcher, we've seen promising things this season. In terms of pass protector, he's getting there. The vision could be inconsistent. There are times where he just wants kind of like he's looking for the home run ball. So he's trying to constantly break it to the outside. This has kind of resulted in average yards per contact, which they were relatively low the last couple of seasons. This year it's up to that 4 number, which you like to see, but prior to that, I mean, it was 2.88, yeah, 2.94. So literally got that up to 4 after not even sniffing 3. So you do love to see that. Like he's very, very much improved this season. Love the short area quicks, the launch speed. I'm kind of curious what he'll test out at on like a 40, because I just feel like he gets maybe he's not necessarily fast, but he just gets the top speed really quickly. And to be fair, at that point, it doesn't really matter. But big fan of Devin Eel. All right, let's keep moving. Let's go to the top 5. I got Audric Estime out of Notre Dame, coming in at 5'11", 227 pounds. He's a former 4-star recruit from the 2021 class. And he was named New Jersey Football Player of the Year in 2020. Nice on you. 2021, he was mainly a reserve for Notre Dame. And in 2022, he made 2 starts and actually led the Irish in rushing yards and rushing touchdowns. He played in all 13 games, just 2 starts though. Full-time starter this year, and yeah, let's just say things have gone kind of well. He's already encroaching on his numbers from last season, and we're only halfway through the year. So good on you, Estime. The dude's got a strong, sturdy build. He is very much a downhill runner who absorbs contact well. He'll bounce off defenders. You just have to kind of appreciate the leg drive that he can get moving forward with. Good vision, demonstrates a good jump cut. He runs with nice little burst once he plants his foot, and he'll shoot between blocks with a nice low pad level. And actually a very good pass blocker. Like he will take pass rushers head on and stonewall them in their tracks, gets good leverage, and is strong at the point of attack. So kind of like that. He has also taken snaps at fullback over the course of his career. He just has that, like he's shown the ability to be a downhill blocker too if you want him to be. However, I think there are maybe ball security issues. They're better this season, but he had 3 fumbles last year, 1 fumble this year. So again, better. He hasn't fumbled since the season opener, if that makes you feel better. Hasn't seen a fumble since the Navy game. So nice. Isn't the fastest or the quickest guy for the position. Kind of lacks creativity as a runner and won't be able to create something from nothing. There have been a lot of times, at least you look at the Louisville, maybe even like the Duke game, where he just got stopped at the line and nothing happened. So not someone who can necessarily create something out of nothing. Rarely used as a receiver. He's been used more often this year, but it's not something that you're going to really like hang your hat on with him. But yeah, he's one of the bigger bruisers in this class. Got a midday 2 grade on him. Let's go ahead and move on to Braelon Allen. I would consider him the best bruiser in this class. He kind of just gets he's just slightly ahead here of Estime for me. But coming in at 6'2", 245 pounds, this guy's trying to look like Derrick Henry, and I can appreciate it. I really, really can. So this year, he has over 700 yards, so it's like, nice. They started giving him the ball. Like, unfortunately, after his teammate went down, Chaz, And it's like, cool. Yeah, no, fun fact. This is a cat you can lean on. He's kind of good that way. But actually, I think one of the youngest players that are eligible for this draft class, I think he will be, if he does declare, he'll be 20 at the start of his rookie season. So kind of cool there. Former 4-star recruit out of the 2021 class. He was initially a member of the 2022 class, which now you kind of see why he's so young, but decided to reclassify and join the Badgers join the Badgers in 2021. He was originally recruited to play linebacker and or safety. Ended up playing run back. He had his freshman year where he played in 12 games with 4 starts, joined Ron Dane, James White, and Jonathon Taylor is the only true freshman Wisconsin running backs to run for over 1,000 yards. He made the second team All Big Ten, and he was a finalist for the Sean Alexander Freshman of the Year Award. 2022 started all 12 games, missed 1 game with a leg injury, played through a shoulder injury during this time as well, still made second team All Big Ten. And likelihood, he's going to be in that first team, second team discussion again this season. He made Bruce Feldman's Freaks list for his power clean, like a 406 pounds. He got squatting 610 pounds and then benching 365 pounds. Love to see it. This guy's strong. He's a big boy, but he's jacked to the gill. He's also been recorded to have a 1.49 10-yard split, which if that's the case, that's nutty explosiveness. And I'd like to see him test that way because I don't necessarily feel it when you watch his tape. Like, he's light on his feet and he's more shifty than you'd expect for a bigger back. Like, possesses good lateral ability, rare nimbleness, especially between the tackles, pairs that up with good vision and patience. But his game, given his size, it's big, it's powerful, it's physical. Displays really good contact balance, can keep a low pad level despite being a taller back, and he has the strength throughout his frame. It's just evident. This dude absorbs contact relatively easy. He's got 41 force missed tackles thus far this season. That rate is just so much better than it's been the last couple of seasons. So you love to see it. You really, really do. Surprisingly soft hands as a receiver. Not going to be a pass catcher by any means. It's not, but you look at it, it's like, okay. Nice soft hands, but not the most natural ball catcher. It is what it is. Not that good, despite size, not that good of a pass protector. Kind of surprised me. So he needs a lot more polished in the passing game, but that's not why you're getting him anyway. That's just not why you're getting him. He's kind of like, oh, if there's going to be a next Derrick Henry, in terms of size and strength profile, this would be it. Not saying he is Derrick Henry, but I'm just saying in terms of the profile, he kind of ticks those boxes. Long speed's kind of whatever. It is what it is. He has broken off long runs. He had 6 carries of 30 plus yards in 2022. This season, he has 12 carries of 15 plus yards. And he does have 1, 2, 3, and okay, he's got like 4 carries of 30 plus yards this season. So maybe he is a guy that could break off the long run. But you know what? It doesn't matter if he could just consistently get to the second level and just rip off chunks. That's a-okay with me, dude. I do worry about the ball security. I want to bring this up though. He had 4 fumbles his freshman season on 185 carries last year, just the 1 fumble. So I was like, okay, fumbling's not an issue. He's got it resolved. This year on 120 carries, he does have 2 fumbles. So something to keep your eyes out for. Let's talk about the top 3, and I'm going to start with Jonathan Brooks out of Texas. Hook 'em horns, coming in 6 foot, 207 pounds. He was formerly a 4-star recruit from the 2021 class. Rushed for over 3,500 yards and 62 touchdowns as a senior. Like, this dude in one of the playoff games had 500 yards rushing with 9 touchdowns. Also punted in high school, where he averaged 42.3 yards per punt with a lawn of 71. Kind of wild. Redshirt his freshman season. Last year, he was mainly a reserve. This year, he entered the year winning the RB2 position, though it was going to be CJ Baxter, who the true freshman was going to be the starter there at running back. First time there was a freshman starter at running back since, I don't think Ricky Williams did it. And Ricky Williams was, maybe it was. I kind of want to go look this up now, out of curiosity. Now we're sitting here talking about CJ Baxter, and I really want to get into sneaking Jonathan Brooks. So it is fact, Ricky Williams thought so. Regardless, he won. Brooks wins the RB2 job. Baxter goes down with injury. Brooks steps up, never looks back. He has been fabulous this season, having over 820 yards. He's got 172 receiving, 7 total tutties, not one fumble. Love to see it. Love to see it. He is a very tough runner. He just eats and churns through contact. The ability to power through arm tackles, get to the second level, you love it. You love the contact balance. You just love how hard this guy runs. He displays very good patience, very good vision. He can bounce around as holes develop and never overstays his welcome there in the backfield. Plays with good loose ankles as well. Just being able to defeat defenders to the corner, planted, turn up field. So just quick feet. You got quick feet, flexible feet. Basically just plant it and turn it in a different direction is what it is. Good acceleration when hitting the hole, and he does get to top speed relatively quickly. I think currently he is leading in big time runs. So very nice there. Big time runs being like runs of 15 plus yards. He has the build as a good pass protector. He's been very effective when asked to do so this season. He's also hard to bring down as a pass catcher. I will say though, he's very much a straight line athlete. I don't think he's like got elite athletic ability, which is fine. It really is. It is what it is. He runs your basic running back route tree. The hands can be inconsistent. Currently has a 16.7 drop rate in 2023. That's just 2 drops on 18 or 21. Yeah, 21 targets. So maybe more pass blocker than he is pass catcher, which is fine. That's great. Sometimes the NFL prefers that. And yeah, I mean, the dude's good. Like, the only knock on him is like, I don't think he's like an elite level athlete, which is fine. For the most part, the tread, there's a lot of tread on the tires if you consider only what he's done in college. But you look back at high school, this guy had a lot of mileage. So that's going to be interesting. Regardless, this dude's been one of the biggest risers for anybody. He is just kind of jumped into the scene. A lot of people didn't even expect him to win the RB2 job there at Texas. And here he is now the lead back there. So good on you. Got a second round grade. At number 2, I got Blake Corum out of Michigan. That's a name you're probably familiar with. So we don't got to talk a lot about him. We'll just kind of hit him up real quickly. But 5'8", 213 pounds. Does lead this group with 13 rushing touchdowns. I didn't even realize it was that high. I didn't realize he had that many rushing touchdowns, so good on him. Former 4-star recruit out of the 2020 class. He was the Gator Plate Player of the Year in Maryland in 2019. Had one start in the shortened season for Michigan, but mainly played special teams. Short season being 2020, the Rona year. In 2021, he played in 13 games, missed one with an ankle injury, which he had been playing with for a month. and he started their final game in the college football playoff against Georgia, where he split time with Hassan Haskins. Wasn't a fan of him. 2022, he was like, hey, guys, fun fact, I am him. And he was. He started 12 games, was a first-team All-American, tore his meniscus, unfortunately, and sprained his MCL against Illinois. He would see 2 carries in the following game, but missed the final 2 games as he went and got surgery done. I don't know. I'm assuming maybe the injury played a lot into him returning, or maybe he just wants to win with Michigan and he feels like this year they got a good shot. I don't know. I thought he was going to be in last year's class, but here he is. We're talking about him in the 2024 draft class. A nice low center of gravity, combines that with good stop-start ability. He's very hard to put a hand on, has quick feet, very dangerous out in space. I love the patience and the vision he plays with when approaching the line of scrimmage. He is naturally nimble just because of his frame, the smaller frame. He's able to get skinny between the tackles, displays good change of direction. He has really good contact balance, though this year the numbers have been down a little bit, but he's also been breaking off a decent amount of big chunk plays. So the guy's just seeing daylight. The offensive line is really good this year for Michigan. Does run the basic running back route tree, and one drop this year, but he's only had 1 drop the last 2 years. And to be fair, it's only 21 targets in the past 2 years, so it's just not used heavily in the passing game. I mean, the dude's a shorter back. Shorter back means smaller strides, means long speed. Might not be as impressive as it would be for a longer stride player. That just kind of is what it is, but his quick feet kind of help make up for that. He is unpolished as a pass protector. He's still kind of learning that. So it's like he's just inconsistent in that regard. So is he someone that you could keep on the field on passing downs? Maybe not yet, but he's a very high floor type of run back. You just look at his game, it's like, yeah, it's going to work out for him at the next level. But my number 1 remains Tremaine Benson. For now, I'm going to kind of wait. I'm kind of hoping his utilization just ramps up. But this season hasn't been the season I thought it would be for Trey Benson. I thought we were going to see a big breakout year, and to be fair, his yards per attempt are the same. Like the yards after contact aren't bad. His force missed tackle numbers aren't nearly as high as they were last season, but still, they're relatively solid. It's fine. So again, doesn't have only has 75 carries on the year. He's kind of splitting time there, which is kind of wild. That's what he did last year too, though, which kind of sucked. But coming in at 6'1", 223 pounds, former 4-star recruit out of the 2020 class. He played as a defensive back as well in high school. Initially, this was a cat that was at Oregon, but unfortunately his freshman season, he suffered a major knee injury on a non-contact injury while being on the scout team for Oregon, and resulted in him in redshirt his freshman season. And then in 2021, he would play in 2 games, but he was stuck behind CJ Verdell, Travis Dye, so he decided to transfer to Florida State, where he played in all 13 games with only 6 starts, made second team All ACC, but he had a very good year last year where he had 154 carries, and he had 79 forced missed tackles on that. Good on you, my man. I like it. It's just not happening at the same rate this year, but the numbers are still good. He's just not eating as much. So I don't know, man. I'm gonna wait out the rest of the year when it comes to him, because I just love his traits. Like, he's very electric. Like, there's any moment he can take it legitimately to the house. Go watch that Virginia Tech game. That's all he was doing that game, where he had 200 yards rushing on 11 carries. He shows good patience, good vision behind blocks. Once he plants his foot, He just kind of explodes, gets that second level quickly, absorbs contact relatively easy. Is a bit of a tall runner though, so you kind of want him to lower the boom a little bit, lower that pad level, give defenders a smaller hitbox to target, and just being more compact like that gives you just a much better contact balance. But I mean, this is a cat that doesn't stop moving his feet. Like, it wasn't a problem for him last year. This year, maybe more so. So just like, yeah, get down as a runner. But I mean, again, I love guys that move their feet. What can I say? I'm a sucker. I'm a sucker. I love the foot speed. I love the ability to just shimmy. It's one of my favorite words, shimmy and shake. Whether it's in close quarters or the open field. And the dude has return capabilities. He had a 93-yard kick return last season against Boston College, and hasn't really. They've not used him on the kicking game this season thus far, though. The mileage is low, so the lot of tread on the tires. Love it, love it, love it. Despite the skill set, not used a lot on passing downs. And even this season where it's like, oh, 12 receptions. Okay. Oh, 97 yards. Okay. It's not great. Probably just a bunch of screens. Bet you if I go look right now, his average depth of target is going to be like -1. I was close. -0.3. But I mean, that's typically what happens to running backs. You start running a lot of screenplays and your average depth of target just ends up being negative yards. That's what it is. But I'm going to still buy into him for now. We'll see how the rest of the season plays out. And if I got to move some things, it is fine. But he's still kind of my guy for me. But let's go ahead and talk about some of these guys who just missed the list. And literally my number 11 is Ray Davis out of Kentucky. I'm a big fan of him, but a big portion of why him and actually the guy right behind him is Jace McClellan out of Alabama is just they're very limited in what they can do in the receiving game. Less so with Ray Davis, but like he's not that good of a pass protector. And McClellan honestly should be a better pass protector. So that's kind of why I ended up having Marks ahead of those two guys. Donovan Edwards, kind of in the midst of a down year, just like being stopped. It's not really the year we thought he'd have. Honestly, might end up returning probably. Raheem Sanders, been hurt all year. Rocket Sanders just been hurt. So he's kind of slid down my board. Will Shipley, I just feel like is a receiving back. I think he's fine. So fine really fits more early day 3, I suppose. Roman Hemby. I get it. The home run speed, it's nice. He's got the ability to fight through contact as well. It's just he's not as good as some of the guys higher on this list when it comes to just mowing through contact. Also, in terms of what he could do as like in the receiving game, or I should say the passing game, he is terrible as a pass protector. So like, yeah, if you're going to use him as scat back, you kind of have to use him as a receiver. Because he can't pass protect worth crap. There's other guys I like in this class. Blake Watson is a really good scat back out of Memphis. Did a lot of good things the year before at ODU. Cameron Skattebo is just a good football player. He's probably, if he does get drafted, he's going to be a late day 3 guy. Regardless, Isaiah Davis out of South Carolina or South Dakota State. I will say this. I just didn't think he was that great of an athlete. Like this guy eats it. It's another guy that I'm like, he just looks like a good football player. So I kind of have him late day 3. There's a ton of guys I still need to go through. Like RJ Harvey, I'm really excited to watch out of Central Florida. Lower, like smaller body, but like this guy flies. But yeah, that's it for the video. Go ahead, do the YouTube thing. And as always, until next time, you be easy, my friends. Later.